Well, welcome back, everybody. This is Steven. Got a little dirt in my can. Northwest Small Batch Brewing here. If you watched my video, it should have been last Friday, if I'm getting my dates right with the editing and publishing. You'll note that I did a Kolsch. I brewed a Kolsch, and it was terrible. Absolutely terrible. And so I am pouring myself a craft Kolsch to make up for it. I will say this. So, I mean, if you remember from last week, I don't know if you remember, it was super cloudy. Like, this is what it should look like. Nice and clear and see-through and good head retention. That's what a Kolsch should look like. Anyway, I'm digressing on today's topic. If you recall, maybe you do or not, but if not, you can go back and watch if you are so inclined. I made two videos. I had to split it into two parts because they were so long. One was, it was basically on yeast and terpenes, not terpenes. Today's video is on terpenes. Those videos were on, if you're watching those videos, you'll remember I did like those on thiols. And I split it into those two parts, and biotransformation. And I said, well, this actually has a lot to do with, did I say thiols? Yeah, thiols. It has a lot to do with terpenes. My God, I'm having a fog day or something here. Terpenes. And so I thought, you know, there aren't really a lot of videos about terpenes. At least I haven't seen any. And so I thought I'll go ahead and make a video. So terpenes are volatile aromatic compounds that are naturally found in hops. They're also found in cannabis, which is why it's kind of a buzzword. They're on citrus peels, herbs, and a lot of other plants. But I think the fact that they're in cannabis is what really makes them, people go, oh, what? What is that? You know, you're putting cannabis in your beer? Cheers, by the way. So in beer, terpenes are primarily there to deliver hop aroma and flavor, especially in hop-forward like styles such as, you know, IPAs, even pale ales can be kind of hoppy, modern lagers. That's where you're going to pick up those flavors from the terpenes. Now, thiols tend to contribute ultra-potent tropical fruit notes that are really very low concentrations. Terpenes shape the broader aromatic like identity of the hop. So you get like citrus, pine, floral, herbal, resinous, and spicy notes. Resinous, again, another reason why people think terpenes and then they think marijuana, because you know, resinous and funky. Anyway, think of it like this, because I like I said, there is definitely a strong subject connection here between thiols and terpenes. Thiols are like instantly intense and exotic fruit, whereas terpenes are more like the structure. They're like the balance, the classic hop character, okay? Definitely different, thiols and terpenes. They both are in your hops, but they sort of act differently and contribute things differently. What exactly are terpenes? Well, terpenes are hydrocarbon-based aromatic compounds synthesized by plants as part of their essential oils. So in hops, they're primarily located in the yellow powdery part called the lupulin glands, and they're released during hopping and fermentation. All right, so some of the key hop terpenes and their flavors, because we need to know if you're going to use these or plan on it, what does what. I'm going to try to break this down. I think there's 4 or 5, I can't remember, like these different flavor trees, I'll call them. So the first one, and I may be pronouncing it wrong, is mycerine. I'll put it on the screen. Mycerine. It's basically like this resinous green dank citrus sort of fresh hop flavor and aroma. It's dominant in a lot of American hops like Cascade and Citrix. It's an IT term. I apologize. Citrus, Citra, and Mosaic. Tends to be very highly volatile, easily driven off by heat. So you can guess that you wouldn't want to use these for bittering, because if you're doing a bittering hop, it's just going to drive off those terpene flavors. It's not going to work, right? So the impact you're looking for in brewing is to preserve those flavors using these in late hops or dry hops instead. Otherwise, you know, you're decreasing that flavor and aroma pretty sharply, and it goes down quite a bit during fermentation as well. All right, so that's mycerine or mycerine. I don't know how to pronounce some of these. Then you have luminine. Do you see how there's a similarity in what they're called? There's this E-N-E sound. It almost sounds like Lord of the Rings, like the name of the elvish stuff. Anyway, luminine. So you can kind of guess this one. If I asked you to guess, I bet you could. The flavor and aroma is lemon. Lemon zest. You might get some orange peel, citrus kind of candy. So that's luminine. Luminine. Oh my God. I'll just put them on the screen. So these are really common in citrus forward hops, obviously. And they're more stable than the prior tree that I referred to, the mycerine. So you want to add these during, again, the dry hop or late addition. They do survive fermentation better than that first batch, the mycerine style. A little bit better. So a lot of times that first flavor compound is hard to keep in your beer because it doesn't really survive fermentation. This one adds a lot of clean, bright citrus and sweetness to your beer. All right. Let's see. Number 3, the third tree. The third tree of a terpene is the... Oh, boy. I swear to God, I'm going to say this and it's going to sound so bad. I should just put it on the screen and not say it at all. Penine. All right, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not saying it again. I don't know if that's pronounced right, but anyway, this one is, as you can guess, kind of by the first letter in a way. It's very piney. This is that pine forest, resinous, fresh cut wood sort of flavor and aroma you get from certain hops. It contributes a lot to that West Coast IPA character. You have to be a little careful because it can clash pretty badly with the juicy style of hops. I'd say it really enhances a good, crisp, bitter, dry freshness, which is, again, why it's great for like a West Coast IPA. All right, that was 3, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go to 4. 4, Linalool. I might be close. Anyway, this one you might not be able to guess from the name. It's floral. So sort of citrus blossom, lavender, floral, that sort of thing. This one's tough for me personally. I think that it's not my favorite. I don't mind if it's just a very light touch of this sort of thing, but I don't want it to dominate. This is one of the most important terpenoids. It's the key building block in biotransformation. I'm not going to go over that again, but you'll recall I talked about biotransformation in prior videos. It's really very fermentation interactive, and it can increase your hop. I think they're called glycosides through yeast activity. Basically, biotransformation. So this one is really good if you can get a thiolized yeast, which is like not very easy to get anymore. So commercial breweries can still do it though. All right, that was 4 or what? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so 5. By the way, I think there's 6 altogether. So 5 is called geraniol. Geraniol. I told you I couldn't pronounce them. This one is similar in a way because it's floral-ish. This one's more low on the rose side of flowers. So this is rose, geranium, sweet citrus, that sort of thing. And this one can also biotransform. Here's the thing you have to be careful with this one. It can biotransform into citronelle or citronella. You know what I'm talking about if you're from the East Coast. I don't think they have these on the West Coast of the U.S., but they make these things called citronella candles, and they are used to try to keep mosquitoes away, like when you're having dinner outside or something. And they have a very unique smell. They are sort of citrusy smelling, I guess, but also medicinal kind of smell to them. So you want to be careful because you don't, I don't know, personally, I don't want that flavor or aroma in my beer because it's instantly going to make me think of this, repellent. Anyway, last one is one I definitely can't pronounce. Caraphyllene and humulene. Now, I know humulene, but the first of that I don't know. Anyway, as far as like pronunciation. This one is the real woody, herbal, spicy. We call this noble hop. If you ever had like Saaz hops and noble hops, sort of like that. This one's less volatile. It's more stable in your beer. As I was saying before about terpenes, it gives a lot of structure and depth to your beer. And it's an important tradition and balance of hop profiles. So that one's, I think, a really good one. Anyway, that gets us through all the different flavored trees or, varieties of terpenes. Now, I know I'm going long here. I'm going to have to speed up. How does a homebrewer use terpenes with beer? Well, first of all, number one is your hop selection. You have to have different hops because they have different distinct terpene profiles, right? You've got Citra Mosaic. These are the myrcene, limonene, and linalool that I was talking about. You have the Saaz Hallertau, which I was just talking about. That's the humulene heavy ones that have the woody herbal. And then you have the Simcoe. Simcoe is the panine and mycerine balance. It's actually the two together. So those are the kinds of hops you would normally use for trying to get terpenes. Now, how do you do it? Late hopping and whirlpool. I call it late edition. You can call it whirlpool edition. I've given up on that fight. By adding them in the late part, after the boil or dry hopping, you're preserving all those volatile monoterpenes that are in the hop. Lower temperatures also help protect the myrcene and linolene type of terpenes. Remember I said if it's too hot, if there's too much heat, it drives off your terpene flavors. So you don't want to put it in when your wort is hot. And long boils, of course, destroy the terpene content. So you never want to use these for bittering if you're trying to get terpene flavors from them. All right. I already kind of mentioned it, but dry hopping is the way to go, I think. That's the primary terpene delivery method, is dry hopping. It maximizes your volatile retention in your beer. It allows interaction with your yeast enzymes and those terpenes, and you get multiple small changes which improve the retention, and it's better than just doing one like large dose, right? So instead of doing like, I don't know, I'll talk about this next, but the biotransformation and then doing just that, it's sometimes better if you do like double dry hopped. Do it early on, then do it again like 4 days before. So you're basically improving by doing multiple little doses instead of one big dose. Biotransformation. Okay. This is terpene focused biotransformation. Now, while thiols get a lot of hype, and I talked about that in several videos, when it comes to biotransformation, you have something with terpenes as well, right? You have geraniol and that's citronelle, right? That's that citrus sort of softness, that candle I was talking about. And then you have the linalool, which increases your perceived hop aroma. And then the last part, and again, I've said this before, the yeast strain choice does really matter, right? Some strains enhance the terpene conversion. So early dry hopping is good. During active fermentation, that's the only way you're going to get biotransformation and alter the aroma. All right, last bit here. Oh man, I really have to move because I don't want this video to go for like an hour. Let's talk about what hops are rich in terpenes, like what has a lot of terpenes. Well, most modern brewers are using cryo hops to start with. And remember, cryo hops have all the vegetal matter removed from the outside of them, and you're mostly getting that lupulin, just the oils and whatnot, and so you have less chance of getting like that vegetal flavor in your beer. Hop oils, a lot of people are using hop oils these days. I haven't gotten on that bandwagon yet because I feel like that's mostly for like West Coast type IPAs, the bittering ones, and I just haven't gotten into the hop oils. I maybe need to try it though, just to see. And then of course you have something called terpene enhanced hop fractions. These all allow for like a high delivery of flavor and aroma with less of that vegetal matter and fewer polyphenols. All right, I'm getting to the end here, I promise. Flavor profiles and pitfalls when it comes to thiols. Benefits and risks of thiols. Benefits provides definition to your hop aroma. It builds really good traditional IPA profiles, West Coast IPA. It improves your aroma longevity, right? It lasts longer. Risks with thiols. You can get excess pinene, which is going to give you really harsh solventy pine, like cleaner, like pine cleaner, pine sol. That's not good in your beer. If you get too much of the mycerine style, it's going to be very green and grassy, which you don't want. And last risk is an over-reliance without yeast interaction, right? So if you're not doing any of the biotransformation, you kind of get like this flat aroma at the end that's not been transformed. So terpenes are most effective when they are balanced with thiols, with esters, and malt for context. So terpene is not like something it's not a one-trick pony. All right, last bit here, and then we'll cut you short or long. Practical takeaways, right, for using terpenes for brewers. Number one, terpenes are the backbone of hop aroma. Number two, they define whether a beer smells juicy, whether it smells dank, piney, floral, noble. These are all from the terpenes. Thiols may grab attention because that's what everybody talks about, but terpenes give the beer their identity and longevity. And then last bit here is that proper hopping technique, using the right yeast and timing the terpenes is what is going to make or break, your beer. It's a lot, I know, but hopefully that gives you a jumping off point on terpenes if that's something you're looking into, especially if you are into brewing West Coast IPAs. This is definitely something to think about. All right, I will be back again in another week for another video, another brew day, whiskey tasting, I don't know, whatever it is. And until then, I appreciate you staying this long. Cheers. See you soon.